Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm here hopefully for good. I keep saying I'm going to do this and that and more videos and stuff, but I've had some gentle reminders lately and I don't know, we're just going to do it. So today is going to be the first in a series that I hope to do a lot of. Is going to be tips to improve common movements and common mistakes that I see with those movements, and just easy fixes to polish it, clean it up, make it bigger, make it juicier, crisper, whatever it is we're going for. And today we're going to do Sidewinder. So this is a movement that is a little bit more of a tribal fusion move. It has some variations, but I use it quite a lot. And we're going to talk about the first couple of tips to improve that. So the very first thing we're going to talk about is the trajectory of the movement. Now a lot of people make the mistake of starting their Sidewinder with their arm. Now what this does, a couple different things. The hand goes way out, the shoulder goes with it, and we lose about half of the real movement. So the first thing I want to talk about is what is the shape that we're making and where does it come from? So I want you to think of the movement coming from your rib cage, not from your shoulders, okay? So we're going to bring the arms to the side and just relax it. And we're going to really think about dipping down, then coming out, and then we're also going to arch up. So what a lot of people do is they just lean and lean and lean and lean, and they put the arm on it, and then they're wondering, why does it not look fluid? Because you're leading with just this tilt. So the first thing to do is just think of, instead of tilting out, think of tilting inward. Do you see the difference? So here I'm using my obliques and my lats to really contract, bringing my rib cage down toward my hip bone. It's like the exact opposite of a hip lift, where the hip bone is coming towards the rib cage. Exact same thing in reverse, we're going down. So you can practice just this. It's tilt in and tilt in. Make sure that the shoulders aren't coming forward and we're not going this way. You're back and you're going straight to the side. So that's the first step. Second step is to come all the way out to the side, making sure that the hip stays here. So you're thinking of stretching, oppositional stretch here. So down, slide it out, and even then that's going to be an improvement if you go down, out, but we can get a little bit more if we open into the intrinsic muscles through the rib cage. Now this takes a little bit of practice. I want you to think of your ribs with your fingers on your ribs like this. Now when you're standing in a normal closed rib cage posture, they should be fairly close together. Now think of stretching up on one side. Now we're not just going down on the other side, we're actually stretching up and stretching up, neutral, up, neutral, up. And what this does is it gives us this extra degree of momentum and range of motion. So then we're really truly creating down, out, up, then sliding across to the other side. Now another thing that's going to help is that we need to think of squeezing the hips. So what I do is I think of pulling my heels in, and I think of squeezing my glutes and squeezing through the legs, pushing my leg into the floor. Also still keeping a neutral back so that we have more range of motion in the upper body. If your lower back is swaying back, then you're going to move at an angle and you're going to feel restricted. So those things are important to keep in mind. So your posture before you do your Sidewinder should be corrected, and we're working on a horizontal plane. So from the side, without my arms, it's going to be kind of weird. It's going to be down, side, up, down, side, up. Now notice if I release my back and do the same thing, down, side, up, there is a little bit more tilting in there. So that's one thing to really, really watch out for. Now I'm going to show you from the back again. Try to ignore my damp hair. So just from here, don't think about the arms yet. We're going down, out, up, down, out, up, down, out, up, down, out, up. So let's talk about the arms next. Arms, often we see this, okay? This is a huge pet peeve of mine. All my students know I'm always talking about keeping the shoulder out of your ear. You don't need to hear what the shoulder has to say. Hello, what is this? Imagine that you have these beautiful long diamond earrings on, okay? Or you're showing off your beautiful hair or whatever works for you, and you've got to root those shoulders down. Even in the tribal fusion style, I think this is important because yes, it's more juicy, yes, it's more in the shoulders. It's more here, less here. Maybe we'll do a different video on that, so let me know if you would like to see that. But moving on for now. So we're really just doing a modified snake arm. It's a little bit longer. So if I were to do it without, making sure I'm in frame here, without the ribcage movement, I'm really just going up and over to push into it. So we're coming to start here, and we're really just coming here. The only difference is that we're curling one arm in a little bit more, now making sure that it's not elbow, okay? It's just coming up and in, pushing down, sliding out. See how this arm is ready to reach now and this arm is ready to push. So we're coming up, push, come down, up, over, push, come down. Now again, see if I just think of leaning out and going into my arm, do you see how different that looks? It's really hard to think about it that way for me. But I often kind of see dancers do it. It looks like wiping sweat. Sweat's in my eyes, hair's in my face. Don't do that. Shoulders away. So let's talk a little bit about the wrists as our finishing touch. Another problem I often see is all in the forearm, wrists and elbows really. Either we come over way too far, and again we get this kind of like cat, like washing her face kind of look where we're coming boink into the head, which again, you don't really want. It's not, none of the arms are coming in by your face. The closest you're getting to your arm is right here. And for me, I'm really just kind of leaning my whole body down, and I'm not leaving my arm behind. I'm not going down here like I'm gonna take a nap. It's not coming in here. It's reaching this arm long away from you as your body comes down. So we go down, out. See how long that is? Up, down, out, up. And you can involve the head more if you like. That's a detail. You can even start the motion with your head, which is a nice stylization. I like to do that as an extra, accent, not as like, look like I'm swimming over here. Okay, so it's also going to make you really disoriented because now you're moving your head up and down and side to side so much. I actually just lost my balance doing it, so there's a case in point. So anyway, notice that my hand is really coming up here, and I'm kind of trying to stay in the camera frame, but you don't want to come way up, and you don't want to come way in. You've got to really do this enough that your muscle memory knows what looks nice. We're coming up, pushing away. Now, this is essentially what the arms are doing, but when we're tilting, we get a little bit more out of it. So see, we're tilting. This arm reaches. As you come up, they curve, curve, curve. Round to the side. Round to the side. Notice that my fingers are staying at about the same line as my temple here, about eye level. So again, I'm not coming way down here, not taking a nap, and I'm not getting the claw going here. I'm not twisting from side to side. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of like really subconscious things that we do when we're trying really hard. We want to be like, oh crap, now I'm on stage, I better like really, really milk this. And it ends up being overdone. So remember to give yourself 110% in class in front of the mirror. Then you can work out like, okay, this is good. I don't need to go way down here. What looks better? Film yourself from the front, from the back. Compare the results. Don't get discouraged. But then when you're on the stage, pull it back a little bit. Don't over dance and don't do more than you do in the studio for sure. So a lot of it, what we see, is kind of accidental. We feel like, oh, everybody's watching now, I better do a really good job. So some of it is subconscious, learn control is really important with this one. And anytime you start to feel like you're losing the connection between the hands and the movement, take them out of the equation. Practice with the hands on the hips, like so. Now, as a final note, and my hair's kind of in the way, but notice that my shoulders really do stay out of my ears for this, right? So if I do this, you know, and I'm just practicing the ribcage motion, I'm not coming in here. I'm not picking up into my traps. It's a trap. Really, it is. I love calling them traps because I say it's a trap every single time. And it is. Picking your shoulders up. It's unnecessary energy. You're wasting energy. You're breaking the line. It's not conducive to the movement. It's just overkill. So try to stop hiking your shoulder up. And if you can only fix one thing in your Sidewinder, that would be the #1 thing I encourage you to work on. So anyway, I hope this really helps. Let me know if you notice a difference, or maybe if you learned something, maybe you have a tip to share with everybody else, myself included. And then also, what movement should I post next? What are you struggling with? What do you feel like you know the movement? I don't need to teach you the movement, but maybe you just need a little bit of help with troubleshooting. Why does it look like this or that? Check out my other videos. I'm working on building my Pow library and my classes. Right now I believe I have classes on Sunday, Monday, and Friday. I just changed the schedule, so don't quote me on that. But check out my Pow channel. I'll link it below. And I'll also be posting more of these free online tutorials for you to get started with. So good luck, happy dancing, and I will see you next time.